Okay. The two brings the Masechah Soifrim. It says like this: En mevorchim ala yoreach ella b'motzoi Shabbos. It says you're not saying bracha kidush levana ella only motzoi Shabbos kshu mavusam uvegodim noyim. It says when you mavusam. Now what's mavusam? So the Beis Yosef brings a few perushim on the word mavusam. He brings from Rav Rabbeinu Yoina. So he says, there's another gisa, ad shetizbasem. So yesh omrim ad motzoi Shabbos mevorchim ala besamim. There's a pirush, you're going to say bracha, birkas alavana, motzoi Shabbos, because then you say bracha, borim le besamim. He says, the Rabbeinu Yoina says, v'enzem miskabel, klal, the maitama, who zel hitlas adam motzoi Shabbos, what's the connection? So they're going to say borim le besamim, now you're going to say bracha, at kidush levana. It doesn't. There's no connection. Oh, there's no v'yesh meforshim shedisbasem. Disbasem al levana loshon chupa. V'doyme lo ovid busma lebrei. There's such a loshon in Aramaic. Busma lebrei. He made a chupa. So he says, and the pshat v'rtzenel b'shor shetasek mo chupa sheigdoy lektas. Chupa, you spread the garment over the chosan kala. That's the chupa. Yes, over here also, if the levana already growing a little bit, it's like making a chuppah, we could be under that chuppah of the levana, it gives some light already, then you say, not before. Okay, so that still doesn't explain what has to do with Motzei Shabbos. Now, v'nira l'moiri, shepirushoi tismatek, meaning, according to this, the word mevusam, it's Miloshan Mosek, pleasant. Miloshan Levesumei Kala. It says over here you have to make your sound, voice, Besumei Kala, make it sweet, pleasant. Mishoshan Mosek Oir Shalo. Meaning it's pleasant, delight, and you could Odom Nehena Mimena, you could have some benefit from it. Shehu Achar Beis or Gimel Yomim. Aval Yorech Ben Yoimoy, but when the moon is only 1 day old. So that's according to Rabbeinu Yerucham. It still does not explain what does do with Motzei Shabbos. If the Yereach, if the Mola Dalavana was Sunday, let's say Rosh Chodesh is Sunday, so a few days later, after 3 days, it's way before Motzei Shabbos, you could do it. Why you have to wait till Motzei Shabbos? By the way, I remember we spoke about this. So I brought a raya from here. There's a lot of poskim saying that allowed after to get shikr and another not allowed to get shikr. The whole discussion we discussed it. But I said chayav levesumei. So going this levesumei is right here. Besumei doesn't mean getting shikr. Levesumei meaning mosek, meaning pleasant. Should be pleasant to you after you get in a good mood after drink a little bit of wine. Doesn't mean get shikr. Anyway, that's one of them. Still, what does it do? Going back to this, what does it do with Motzei Shabbos? But besvarim didon kosov behedya. And ela Motzei Shabbos, like in Masechah Soifrim, v'kamokim v'madam v'divra Rabbi Yoina she'en b'vorchim birkas alvana ad she'avru el gimel yomim. So one thing we're learning from Rabbeinu Yoina, you have to say that don't say kiddush before 3 days. The mashal the below he the Masechah Soifrim ken v'shkadem v'chon namer. So without the Masechah Soifrim, that says Motzei Shabbos before 3 days. It's you can say bracha on it. You don't have benefit from the levana. It's still just the moila just came. You need to have a little bit light. Again, so he didn't say over here what's the reason. So it's interesting. I think the Mishnah Berurah the brought from others for him also that when you say bring from Sefer Magid Meshorim, it says like this: because of some Magid Meshorim. Siman ze beyodcha. B'chodesh tevorcha birkas al Motzei Shabbos. The month you're going to say you're going to Motzei Shabbos. Timtzu atzlocha. You're going to have a lot of atzlocha that month. It comes out Motzei Shabbos. You cannot do it. It's too cloudy. He says oisa chodesh lo yamutzlach chas v'shalom. That month he says it won't be mutzlach. So there is something in. And there is something in doing the kidush levana on and Motzei Shabbat. There's something to it. Yeah, that's in Shulchan Aruch also brings. So according to this, here is the things. What does it do? There's two girsos. To disbasem, that's the girsa of Rabbeinu Yoina. Disbasem meaning, I think the Tosfos also brings that girsa. The levana will become pleasant. You could enjoy it, and then kshu mavusam, you mavusam, meaning when you have begodim noim, when you mavusam with the begodim noim. Again, mavusam doesn't mean besamim. Mavusam doesn't mean you're shikr. Mavusam means mavusam begodim noim. We're pleasant. You're in a better. It's a nice to see when you're in a nice dressed up nicely. Okay. Now here's the we said already yesterday about this. There's another problem over here. From where you see that it has to be Motzei Shabbos, in Motzei Shabbos, and at kedekach that man going to be with a lot of atzlacha, and you should not do it before 3 days. And then he brings the Beis Yosef from Ari Giketlia. That's a Baal Share Oiras, a Mekubal. He says like this: Kostav b'tshuva Shabbos al pi Kabbalah en levarach al kidush al levana ad she'avru zayin yomim, till 7, not before that 7-day old, and that's how he brings in Shulchan Aruch. He says again one halacha it says Motzei Shabbos, and the other halacha says en mevorchen aleh. That's the last halacha of Tov Chav Vav. En ad she'avru shivas yomim aleya. Add a shaila, what's the pshat shivas yomim? Full 7 days, or it's already in the 7th day, you could do it. In the 7th day, Lamaisa, you're going to see that shaila is no enough come in. I'll tell you why. Most achroinim, the surprise and the Beis Yosef, we bring this to Halach, he took one opinion of this Mekubal Baal Sharois, a big man, but L'choire, Alpi, his own klolim, when you have so many poskim saying differently, you don't follow Shitas Yochid, and especially he brings himself from there's a machlokas the Gemara. Amar Rav Yochanan, that the Tur brings us. Ad Mosai mevorchim al chodesh. Ad tismala pegimosoi. Aval mikan ve'elach kvar hu yoshon ve'en roi levorach al chidushay. V'kama, meaning you don't see the middle when it's pogum, when it's too young or too old already, getting diminishing. The siman la'atzlacha is because when it's growing, it's siman. There used to be that's brought in Eben Ezer the Ramo brings. They used to do the chasanas when not when the levana getting smaller. There's the chasanas till the middle of the month when there's a inyan of siman toy because the levana is growing now. The oira levana it also should be siman of growth. Hatzlocha l'maisa. Many tzaddikim, including the Rebbe, he said, "B'yomeinu, the faster you do the chasana, it's better. We don't care for that siman now." Meaning, there's other inyanim, other factors. But l'maisa, it says over here, Omar Rav Yochanan, that the kidush halavana should be at tismala pigimoso. But after that already, you don't. Ukvar yosher, v'kama pirush mosa tismala pigimoso. Meaning, when the earliest. So Rav Yudah Omer at shiva shenismala pigimo. He kechatzi agula. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. No, the kama meaning the maximum when you don't do after that. So Rav Yehuda brings after the 7th day you don't do it anymore because the nicest when at the 7th day you mean you take the half of the moon and the 15th the moon look full. The half of the moon, the moon look full. That's already called. Nismala pegim also. Vu kechatzi agula v'nardoy amre ad yudvav v'lo yudvav bichlal. Shenasa kula sholem. V'hilchasa kenardoy. So meaning the halacha with paskan you do kidush halacha. So again, they're not talking about the minimum. The minimum we already said is 3 days. We're talking about the maximum. What you don't go over at the 15. But till the 15 you could say it. So according to this, after 3 days already you could do Kiddush Halavona. So the Beis Yosef bring halacha, you have to do it after 7 days. So, okay, so here's the problem. Let's say again, the Rosh Chodesh was close to Shabbos. Let's say Rosh Chodesh was either Shabbos or Rosh Chodesh was Thursday. Come Motzei Shabbos, it's not 7 day old. Now, if you're going to wait till next Motzei Shabbos, it might be too late. So when are you going to do the bracha? You're going to wait till next Motzei Shabbos? You're going to do it the middle of the week. So what are you going to do then? So Lamaisa, the way all the poskim, Mamash, the Ruba of the poskim saying, after 3 days, especially if the weather it's questionable what's going to happen. It's a Machzedek saying that, and many other posts can bring that. After 3 days, and if the weather is not so good, you should say that already after 3 days you could soimach on the shittas way it's brought in the Gemara. Obviously, if you could do it after the 7th day, and it's Motzei Shabbos, it's ideal, it's the best, but if not, you could do it. Now, the Gabe, there's halacha is brought like this. You should on Motzei Shabbos, when we wait for Motzei Shabbos, the Ramo brings this halacha. So, v'davka, when we wait till Motzei Shabbos, im leil Motzei Shabbos u koidem yud b'chodesh. Oz mamtinim ad Motzei Shabbos. What's the pshat yud b'chodesh? Shabbos yud b'chodesh or Motzei Shabbos yud b'chodesh? So again, the Magen Avraham, the Taz, they all bring clearly you have to have the Shabbos would be yud. The Yud b'chodesh, if Shabbos have to be Tes, and the night is Yud, then you wait. If Shabbos was Yud, the night is Yud Aleph, then you don't have 5 days of clear, of you might say kidush birkas levana, then you don't wait till Motzei Shabbos. You do it before. Again, so the latest you're going to wait for Motzei Shabbos, if Shabbos was Tes b'chodesh, that tonight Motzei Shabbos would be Yud. If Shabbos was Yud, B'meila, you don't have 5 days. You could say for Motzei Shabbos 5 days Kiddush Levana. It's risky. You might lose Kiddush Levana. Then you're going to say Kiddush Levana before Motzei Shabbos, and you do it after Gimel B'chodesh.